Hey everybody, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I'm doing a whole series on You Ask and I Answer, Q&A, and you can send me messages on my YouTube videos, to my Facebook page, you can email us, whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. The next one is, what are singers missing? Wow, that's a big question. What are singers missing? Kind of reminds me of, what do you call a singer that doesn't have a girlfriend? Homeless. That's one thing they're missing. No, kidding. Seriously, folks. This is going to be kind of a tacky thing to say, but I really have to say it. Okay, so bear with me, but I'm just being honest here and wearing my heart out on my sleeve. Most of the people that do really well with my singing course, believe it or not, are actual instrumentalists. And let me explain why. Yes, of course, singers do well, the ones that want to work at it. But instrumentalists really understand what it takes to get good at an instrument. And let's not forget that our voice is an instrument. So I think what singers are missing is they don't treat their voice like an instrument, and they don't work out their voice like they should, like an instrument, and spend the quality time and dedication and get good quality information to take good care of their instrument. Whereas a lot of instrumentalists understand, gosh, I have to practice 1, 2, 3, 4 hours a day on guitar or piano or drums or bass or whatever that is to get really good. So most instrumentalists really realize that, man, if I want to get good at something, it's going to require quality information and a dedicated practice time. So I'd say that's probably one of the first things they're missing. The second thing I think they're missing is that the voice is unique I just washed my tongue and I can't do a thing with it. They're really unique in that the voice is very sensitive and fragile, and it's not like other instruments. So let's say you play bass or guitar, for example, you get a callus on your finger, and that's a good thing because it means you can play longer. You get a callus on your vocal folds and it's surgery, or you're gonna have to go through a lot of rehabilitation. So within the fragile part of this, or the being really sensitive part, they need to know how to take good care of their vocal folds from a nutrition standpoint, from a warming up or working out correctly standpoint. And I cover all of this in my singing course, but that's another thing that they're definitely missing. The other thing I think that singers are missing is being realistic with themselves about where they're headed with their voice. A lot of people will just go, I want to be this other outrageous singer over here, and they don't recognize that there's a whole series and stages in between. So let me give you an example of this. I get all the time, I've never sung before, but I want to sound like Ariana Grande, or I want to sound like, with some great singer. It could be a rock guy, it could be a pop girl guy, whatever. And they've never sung. And it's like, well, okay, so let's be realistic. If you think of this like being an athlete, like we said, and I know this keeps centering around disciplines and working out correctly. But if you think about being a good athlete, well, you're all talking about athletes at the top of their field, singers, athletes at the top of their field. How long did it take them to get there, and what steps did they take to do that? So there's some unrealistic expectations. That's why I said instrumentalists do really well. What else are singers missing? Okay, singers are missing the fundamentals of great singing. So oftentimes they just want to open up their mouth and they want greatness to come out. Well, again, as we've covered before, and I'm going to cover this again, and I'm going to just keep hammering this home as much as I need to, pile drive it if I have to, is we have to understand that the voice requires an engine, and the engine is your abdomen, basically, okay? So you have to understand the strength that controls the ease in the throat, and the power, and the range, and the tone, and the vibrato, and all those things we love, melisma, the vocal riffs, and licks, and all that stuff, that it comes from strength from the abdomen, not just this huffing and puffing of air from the lung. And then once we understand that it's this strength from the abdomen, it's this response, this relaxation response of relaxing the upper torso, the neck, the chest, and the throat. And then building out good open throat technique, and I know I've said this before, but it's worth saying again, is developing this good open throat technique so that the muscle memory in the throat can stay open, so you don't feel like you're choking or pinching on notes that you sing, or gagging on your vowels, so to speak. And then practicing correctly. It's not practice that makes perfect. I've said this before too. It's perfect practice that makes perfect. So really understanding the mechanisms of that. The other thing too that I think singers are missing is your voice has a biological clock, and we've discussed this before, and it's kind of like waking up. There's morning people and there's night people, right? I actually happen to be a morning person, though I'm a musician, and I had to train myself to, want to wake up at night and perform at night, and it's just the nature of the beast. So think of it kind of like jet lag for the voice, right? So we have to and want to condition our voice to warm up at the same times that we plan on singing. So that's really important too, so that the voice gets used to singing. So you're going to say, gosh, sometimes, in the mornings I can't sing anything, but man, come 4 or 5 o'clock, I sing great. Well, because your voice is used to or wants to be warmed up at that time, and that's really important. So anyway, there's a lot of things. Again, I have a singing course. It's called How to Sing Better Than Anyone Else, but you can check that out or get a lot of the free tutorials I already have on YouTube, and those will really help you a lot. But one more thing is, again, guys, I cannot stress this enough or emphasize this enough. The voice is a very sensitive muscle or group of muscles, actually. And it can do pretty much anything an athlete wants it to do, okay, within reason and within reasonable expectations, but it has to be done sequentially and correctly. And what do I mean by sequentially? Well, what I mean is most singers, and I'm going to close with this, think that, I want to learn about vibrato. Can you teach me vibrato? Well, vibrato isn't just about going, and this sine wave of movement, right? Vibrato is the final resting place of a whole tone that relaxes into a state of oscillation. It's fancy words, right? Because it is strongly or well supported from the abdomen. So I can't teach you how you do vibrato correctly if you haven't gone back to the building blocks, the very foundation of great singing. So what a lot of singers want to do is, I want to learn about distortion. I want to learn how to distort my voice today. Okay, let's break that down. I want to become, this vocal athlete that does these crazy tricks. So, you think of an extreme sport, could be mountain biking, it could be surfing, it could be paragliding, I don't care what it is, but I want to do this extreme sport. I want to distort my voice and get grit and growl and this, that. But I haven't developed all of the tools up until then and all of the balance and everything else I need in order to do that. So what most singers want to do is pick and choose the things that they want to do about their voice, forgetting that there's this whole foundation that needs to be built in sequence or sequentially to give them what they want in the end. I like to think of it, like I said, as a house. We're building a house. We have to build a foundation first, and then we add on the rooms of things that we like. Blues licks or melisma licks and runs, vibrato, grit, distortion, holding long notes if you feel like you can't hold a long whole tone, and all these different things. We can't just pick and choose these things. They have to happen again sequentially, okay? Hopefully this information was helpful, and until next time, God bless and peace out.
Won't you help me understand what life is, what it's all about? Light the way to show the world where love abounds. Won't you help